Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Nice. Okay, cool. Um, so welcome to another episode of AWS Cloud Quest. This is going to be me walking through AWS's um, game that they have set up. I've already done a couple, and now it's going to be on databases in practice and then whatever comes after that. So the point of this game is to teach you how to use AWS, and it is slightly better than the other versions. Slightly better than reading the docs. So let's find them. Hi, and welcome to the headquarters of our insurance company. Thanks for answering our call for help. No problem. How can I help? Our database administrators have recently complained that they spend too much time with operational tasks, such as patching and managing the database infrastructure, instead of innovating for our customers. We heard that AWS might have a solution. That's a common pain point. AWS has managed relational database service called Amazon RDS. That removes the operational burden of patching and managing underlying infrastructure. That sounds like what we need. I can have our database admins experiment with Amazon RDS in our dev test environments. Can Amazon RDS also protect us from data loss? Yes, Amazon RDS can perform routine backups on your database. You can choose how long you'd like to store those backups, which is known as the retention period. Okay, but how else can we ensure that our systems are resilient in case of a disaster? Using Amazon RDS, you can deploy your database instances in multiple availability zones, or AZs. Should a disaster impact one AZ, an automatic failover to the other AZ will occur. Your data is replicated synchronously, so your customers won't see any downtime. So if you don't know, an availability zone in AWS is a zone inside of a AWS region. So you might have a region like EU West 1, which I think is London. And within that region, there are various availability zones, and you split your resources or even mimic your resources across those zones because in reality, in physical reality, they are basically separate places. So if something bad happens in one place, it's unlikely to happen in the other place as well, which gives you stability. This is exactly what we need. Will deploying our database in multiple AZs mean that we will have twice the database performance? Well, not quite. Using multiple AZs is intended for high availability and disaster recovery, not increased performance. Okay, so what can I do to improve performance? Our data analytics team is constantly running real-time queries and big data analytics. Data performance is impacted with each large read load. If you're doing read-intensive workloads, you can deploy something called a read replica. Read replicas have the same data as your primary database, but they allow only read operations. You can direct queries to a read replica so that your primary database is free to do more write operations. Nice! Can't wait to see how it works. Can you help improve our database infrastructure with Amazon RDS? So basically, what this means is a read replica is when you take all the data that you have in a database, you create a copy of it, and then you say that that copy is purely for when somebody requests information. They can't update that version of the database. It's just for reading. And that gives you two databases to work with, basically. You have your main database where you can make changes and you can read stuff, and your read replica, which is just for high throughput queries that are read only and are not going to change anything. Okay. Yes, I accept. Awesome, let's get to it. So, this is where we come up to the learning page. The learning page is pretty boring. The videos are quite boring. So I'm just going to go through it and then just get to the meat of it rather than read all their stuff. Like I'll show you a video, for example.
Amazon Relational Database Service. Amazon RDS Overview. Amazon RDS is a managed relational database service. Amazon RDS makes it easy to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in the cloud. It provides cost-efficient and resizable capacity, while automating time-consuming administration tasks, such as hardware provisioning, database setup, patching, and backups. It frees you to focus on your applications. Amazon RDS provides you with 6 familiar database engines to choose from, including Amazon Aurora, PostgreSQL, MySQL, MariaDB, Oracle Database, and SQL Server. You can use the AWS Database Migration Service to easily migrate or replicate your existing databases to Amazon RDS.
Man, that is a lot of time to be talking about all of this stuff. Easy to administer, highly scalable. I feel like you just don't need to be told a lot of this stuff up front. So yeah, let's get back to the cool stuff. So what I like to do is, when we get to it, is just start a timer to add some time pressure to it because it makes it more fun, and also try and get it done without reading the instructions. So the solution uses Amazon Relational Database Service. Sure. And host replacement. What is that? So basically, I just wrote down a flashcard for that because I didn't know what host replacement was. And host replacement is when AWS handles changing the instances of your database for you rather than you handling that stuff yourself. Okay, and this is just saying that I guess automatically if you make a multi-AZ deployment, which I guess is going to be an option, then Amazon will synchronously replicate the data to a different availability zone within the same region. And failover, I think, is a database term that essentially means one of them has failed and I'm going to move over to a different database. Okay, and it does so without manual intervention, which is good for us because we don't want to do that. Because the name record for your DB instance remains the same, your application can resume database. Nice. So this is basically just saying that the failover doesn't change the logical name within AWS. So if you're pointing at a relational database service, you're still pointing at it if it fails. Okay, so I guess maybe we'll be looking at doing something like that. See, isn't this better? Why has it got all these video concepts? Why do we need them?
Amazon Relational Database Service features. Scalability. Here are the key features for scalability. Push-button compute scaling. You can scale the compute and memory resources, vertically up or down, up to a maximum of 32 vCPUs and 244 GB of RAM. Compute scaling operations.
Give me. Okay, so they want us to launch an Amazon RDS instance, configure a multi-AZ deployment, configure an Amazon RDS backup. Configure an Amazon RDS backups. So how long do we think this is going to take? I'll do it once I've loaded this. And I think maybe 20 minutes. Start. There's only 16 steps, so maybe it's just 16. Okay. Let's go. View the practice lab. Any lab files? No. Okay. Let's give it a go. RDS. US East 1. DB instances none. Create a database. Ooh, I wonder if... Okay, I don't know which one they want me to make. MariaDB. Keep the default. DB instance identifier. Probably they're going to go with that. Show instance classes that support. self-managed. Fine. Huh? Oh, excellent. So we'll use GP2. Use 20. What is an OLTP? Hello? Okay, cool. Yeah, so this thing, OLTP, this stands for Online Transaction Processing. And apparently this is used for when you have a lot of read-only requests. So just basically means if requests are coming in high volume in real time, you might want to set up a database for online transaction processing to handle these read-only requests really, really fast. Yeah, I think that's it basically. Right. For storage auto scaling, click the expand arrow. Right. maximum storage threshold. Not really sure what that means. Required by planned workload of this DB instance. Meh, okay. Damn. So this is just all default. Default, 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 default. Fine. Don't connect IPv4 default. Okay. Deselect. Cool. Cool. Okay. It's gonna cost me a lot of money. What? Oh. Nope. Well, what should I do in the meantime? Your database might take a few minutes to launch. Hey. Click actions. View the different options. Status modify. Okay. Cool. Well, that was easy. Minutes to spare. Easy, easy, easy. So do it yourself is going to be what? Our service will verify that you completed a read replica called my database read replica. Using my database as your primary reference database. Sure. Actions. And it's still not ready. I guess. I may as well pause whilst I await this to work. Goodbye.